Hello, welcome back to Tarina Presents, and I present to you Depeche Mode, one of my favorite musical groups. I've been liking them since 1990. Now, I have made a podcast episode audibly months ago, but now I'm going to be doing a little longer version of it, talking about Depeche Mode, my favorite, my favorite albums, favorite songs from the albums, and so forth and so on, and just discussing them. Trying to do something a little different. Maybe I might get some responses, some comments, some fellow devotees out there. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment in the comments below on my YouTube channel. Same thing with my podcast. And let me know your favorite songs, your favorite albums, all that good stuff. So like I said, I've been liking them since 1990. And it all started with Enjoy the Silence and Personal Jesus. And Positive Truth. Those three songs. Listening on the radio and, fell in love with the band. And I've been listening to them ever since. Then I'll go back to listening. Because in the 80s, I used to just listen to the radio and didn't really pay attention to who sang what, when I was a teenager in the 90s. And, like my bands in the 80s were the Monkees and, New Kids on the Block, which we'll discuss them in another episode. Try to do individual, each band per episode, maybe, if this one does well. And it is kind of funny to me that I go back to listen to the older albums, and I came across a song called People Are People. Did not know Depeche Mode sung that song, but I remember clearly singing that song so much when I was a kid, preteen. And I was kind of like the outcast. I was an only child. I am an only child and outcast and stuff. And or I felt that way. And people used to make me tear up back when I was a kid. So it's like when that Depeche Mode sung that song, didn't know that to the 90s, early 90s, obviously. This is a little interesting tidbit throwback. So yeah. And look, I have my hair down for y'all. How you like that? Okay, so anyway, I was going to do a top 10 music album, but honestly, it's kind of hard to choose your favorite albums when it comes to Depeche Mode. At least it is for me, so I went with top 5. So here's my top 5 Depeche Mode albums. Number 1, Songs of Faith and Devotion. I love Faith and Devotion. Even though the first album I ever heard was Violator, which Violator is my second favorite Depeche Mode album. But I like Songs of Faith and Devotion more. Now, on a little note before I finish this list, I never got to see Depeche Mode live in concert, sadly. I remember back in 1993, both Depeche Mode and Duran Duran went to New Orleans to concert, 2 weeks behind each other. I don't know which one came first. One was late October, the other one was early November. That's all I remember of it. And I remember ordered some concert shirts from a magazine that sells concert shirts. I don't remember what it was. And I had a Duran Duran concert shirt and a Depeche Mode concert shirt. The day of the concert, I wore them to school. And my friends and classmates like, "Oh, you going to the concert?" I was like, "I wish." But I was 16 back then. So it's like, I couldn't go to the concert. I wish I could have. Because if I would have knew that Alan Water was leaving 2 years later, because he left the band in 95, I would have tried to go. Because I loved Alan Water. I still respect him, and I still carry a little bit of a crush on him. But to me, he was the musical genius, as Andy Fletcher made a point of it in the 101 movie that was recorded in 1988. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the list, right? So, speaking of 2001, listen to me. 101 video to 1988. Boy, I'm my mind's scattered. My third favorite album is Music for the Masses, which is the tour that they recorded 101. I used to watch that movie all the time. I still can't get over the guys in the movie, young adults in the movie. They were trippy. They were tripping. Had some great hairstyles, especially for the late 80s. Typical late 80s hairstyle. You know, it makes me wonder what they look like now and what's going on with them. Anyway, so my fourth favorite album on the Depeche Mode catalog is Black Celebration. And then my fifth favorite album is Some Great Reward. Now, as you listen to my favorite albums, all of them are during the Alan Wilder years, as I call it. I'm not saying I don't like the albums after the fact. I do. There's actually only one album that I don't like, but I'll get back to that. I'll get to that one later. I just haven't got into it. I should say, not that I don't like it, I just haven't really got into it. That being said, I do enjoy every Depeche Mode album, from the first one to the one before last. So yeah, that's basically it, right? I'm a Depeche Mode devotee. I always will be. You know, I even like some songs that Martin Gore put out solo, and Dave Gahan put out solo. So you know, it's all good. Yeah. So now we're gonna get into the. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to burp on the camera. My three favorite songs from each album. Now, this is not in any particular order. Again, I like all the songs, some more than others. These are like the songs I like more than others, I should say. And sorry, I've got a loose hair right here that I gotta. So I don't put my hair down like too much because I'll lose it. Flyaways, you know. It is what it is. I'm just sidetracked again. Anyway, so let's start with the first album. Test your Depeche Mode knowledge. Drop it in the comments. What year did the first Depeche Mode album come out? Speak and spell. What year did it come out? I know it. Do you? Drop it in the comments. I want to see how many Depeche Mode devotees out there that knows what year the first album dropped. Testing your music. And there's also music, and also the musical people that just love musical trivia. I want to see it. Let's see how many people knows it. Here we go. So Speak and Spell, my favorite song. Just Can't Get Enough. Obviously. Dreaming of Me and Photographic. That's my three favorite songs from that album. Or the songs I like the most, I should say. Which is the same thing as favorite songs, I guess. You know, it is what it is. So the next one, A Broken Frame. I like The Sun and the Rainfall, See You, and The Meaning of Love. Those are my favorites from that album. And I got my little list right here, and it's kind of jotted down, kind of messy. Messy writing when I jotted it down. I had to go through my iTunes list to get the titles of the songs and the albums, because just to be sure I got it all right. So next album, Construction Time Again. My favorite songs. 2 Minute Warning, Love in Itself, and Everything Counts. Another trivia question for you, music trivia guys and girls and Depeche Mode devotees. Everything Counts. Think about it. Just think about it. I don't know, y'all be like, okay, what you thinking about? Everything counts. Yeah. We just talked about it earlier. The subject. I'm just being silly right now, basically. Alright, so the next one is Some Great Reward. That's the next album on the list. Songs I like. Stories of Old. Somebody. And Master and Servant. There was another song I was kind of going between Master and Servant and another song, and now I can't even think of the other song. Whatever. It is. So yeah, that's my favorite song from Some Great Reward. They also had an album called Catching Up with Depeche Mode, which was the second album I ever had. Well, actually the second cassette I've had of Depeche Mode. Or was it the first cassette? No, actually, Catching Up with Depeche Mode was the first cassette that I got. And then Violator was second. And, you know, that was another album. I didn't put it on this list because it's Catching Up. It's, you know, their work. It's pretty much songs from their early albums that worked before the off of these albums I just said. Now we're getting into the late 80s with Black Celebration. And my favorite songs are A Question of Lust, A Question of Time, and Here in This House. Where it all happens, these tender moments. So if you sing the song, I don't know if you want to hear me singing those songs. I could sing, but out of tune. And no, I don't need no auto tune. I just sing out of tune. Okay, listen. Next album, Music for the Masses. What's my favorite song for Music for the Masses? Before I get to my favorite song, let me tell you this. I remember when I used to pick one Depeche Mode. I had every Depeche Mode album on CD, okay? And I remember in my room, I had this single CD, stereo with, AM, FM radio, and I think I had double cassette on it. Anyway, it had a single disc. I used to pick a Depeche Mode album randomly, just like, okay, this Depeche Mode album I'm going to listen to, and put it on repeat and listen to it all night long, okay? This one time I decided to do Music for the Masses and listen to it all night long. And one day I came to try to take it out of the player, and the player stopped working. And how I knew that the stereo stopped working, the radio stopped working. Everything stopped working. My CD because I used to leave the CDs in there. My CD got stuck. It was stuck in there. I was so upset. Now, mind you, this is the early 90s. I was a teenager. So, I was so upset that Music for the Masses was stuck in there. I was so upset that I broke it open to get it out. I literally broke the thing open to get it out. It's silly. It's actually kind of pathetic, really. But I love the band so much, especially back in the 90s, that I was upset that the disc was stuck. I was like, I ain't need that disc out. I could have bought a new one. Obviously, I could have went to the store and buy a new CD, but no, I wanted that CD out of that player, out of that stereo. I ain't gonna lie, that's the truth. So, okay, so this is my favorite songs from that album. Strange Love, Never Let You Down Again, and I Want You Now. I mean, this album, like I said, it's one of my favorites. And I like a lot of the songs, but I picked these three, particularly because I listen to them the most. Especially Strange Love. And I like the remix version of Strange Love. Here's a little Depeche Mode trivia about Strange Love. And this I'm just going to tell you straight out whether you know it or not. Did you know that they had to make two versions of the video for Strange Love? A UK version and a US version. Evidently, the US, back in 1988, thought that the UK version of the video was too risque for MTV and VH1 and all that. I'm like, back then, they were playing Madonna. That was risque. And you're going to say that the Depeche Mode video was a little bit risque because they showed a woman, because they showed the women. At one point, they showed a woman's tits. It's like, okay, they were doing that a lot. And they wouldn't have no problem with that video today. Absolutely none, because women just show everything for... I'm not even going there with that. Anyway, so, yeah, that was the... So they made the U.S. version, which I call it the black and white. The black version was the UK risque version, which I didn't find was risque. The women were dressed. Except for showing titties at one point, they were dressed. They were just dressed sexy. And then they had the white version, which was the U.S. version, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed that one. I like both versions, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, just a little Depeche Mode trivia there. Next album, the album that started it all, Violator. Now this one, these are my favorite songs from this album. Is going to surprise y'all. Here you go. You're going to be surprised by this. And early in the beginning of this, I mentioned the 3 songs that got me into Depeche Mode, which was the 3 songs that was playing constantly on the radio at the time, back in 1990. I did not pick any one of these songs as my favorite songs. I still like each one of those songs, don't get me wrong. But the songs I have listed is the songs I listen to more now. And that is World in My Eyes. And I prefer the live versions from Violated Tour. Sweetest Perfection. And this song, which is probably not known to... I would say it's not known to people that are not extreme Depeche Mode fans, okay? Because this was the bonus track on the Violator album, Dangerous. I like that song. That's a pretty good song. If you're a fan of music, 80s, 90s, Depeche Mode, and you haven't heard this song, it's the bonus song on the Violated album, Dangerous. It's a good song. Y'all gotta listen to it. I jam out to it every time it plays. Okay, the next album, my favorite album, Songs of Faith and Devotion. The videos, I love the videos too. I used to watch the videos constantly all the time. I still have the videos. I have the best of videos. Depeche Mode. I haven't watched in a while, but I have them. So my favorite songs of Faith and Devotion: Higher Love, In Your Room, and I Feel You. The sun it shines. I feel you within my mind. And this is the end of the Alan Wilder era right here. So now we'll start the next era of Depeche Mode, the next evolution of Depeche Mode, without Alan Wilder, the musical mastermind, as I say. I'm not saying that Martin, Dave, and Fletch weren't musically inclined. It's just that by opinions, obviously, Alan was the better of the 4. I digress. Anyway. And yes, it's a little bit biased because I like Alan. But I also like Dave, Martin, and Fletch. And Vince Clarke. Can't forget Vince Clarke, because Vince Clarke was the founding member of, Depeche Mode, even though he was only on the first album. Can't forget him. So next album that I have on this list, Ultra. My favorite songs from this album, It's No Good, Home, and Free State. Yeah. There's some good songs there. Next album, Exciter. They come up with some interesting names for albums, okay? For Exciter's album, Shine, Free Love, and Breathe. Oh, they hear you breathe. And by the way, I have a question for y'all. And you could drop it in the comments. I'm thinking about it. Dave, obviously, is the lead singer of the group. And Dave has a fabulous voice. But Martin also sings, although he's more the songwriter. Who you think is the better singer, Martin or Dave? That's a tough question, right? I can't wait to hear those answers. Or read those answers. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. Me, it just depends on the song. Martin sings some songs better than Dave. It just depends on the song. Martin's more the... he sings more the... I would say melody... the melodies ones. The slower songs. If you could call them slower. Anyway, next album. Playing the Angel. My favorite songs on this one, The Sinner in Me, Micro, and Precious. A little Depeche Mode trivia. Precious, from what I remember reading, was written at a time when Martin was getting divorced from his wife at the time, the mother of his daughters. And this song was written to reflect how he felt about the divorce and how the effect on his daughters. Which, knowing the song itself is a good song regardless, but knowing that little fact makes it even, I guess you could say, a little bit more special to listen to, and a little bit more, and kind of, I'm not saying depressing, but kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on your feelings about the subject. All right, Delta Machine. My favorite songs are Heaven, Soothe My Soul, and Slow. Slow as you can go, 'cause I like it. Another little Depeche Mode trivia here. Heaven. Heaven. The video for the song Heaven was filmed in New Orleans. In New Orleans. In and around New Orleans. I wish I would have knew that. Because I would have loved to have been in that video. Dang. That would have been a dream come true. I could have met the band. Dang it. Alright. Sounds of the universe. Favorite songs from Sounds of the Universe. In Chains. Miles Away. And Peace. Peace will come to me. And then the last album, which for the life of me I cannot remember the name of it. The last album that came out, which was a couple of years ago. How long ago? It was actually a lot of years ago, because I can't remember the name of it. I only listened to it one time and I really didn't care for it. Maybe if I give it another listen to now, I might appreciate it more, but I just couldn't watch. If y'all remember the name of the album, I should have looked it up before I did this, but oh shoot. Sorry, I accidentally clicked the stop button on my audio. Shoot. Sorry, I had to start over. Look, if y'all remember the name of... I wish I would have looked it up, because I can't even remember the name of the new album. The last album. Like I said, it's not no disrespect to the band. It's just, you really care for it. Like I said, if I give it a listen, I might appreciate it more. That being said, yeah, this is my episode of talking about my favorite band, Depeche Mode. What y'all think? I'm just trying to do a little new avenue about it. I know that I don't get... Well, I don't know what I'm gonna... This other subject I'm gonna talk about in another video. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. Subscribe, please, and I will talk to you next time on Tarina Presents. And I appreciate the follow, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Your favorite songs of Depeche Mode. Any trivia you'd like to share. Your favorite albums, all that good stuff. Your favorite band members. Who's your favorite band member? Alright. Peace be with you. That didn't sound right. Oh, one more thing. Speaking of Depeche Mode. Have y'all noticed, and this goes with a lot of the bands, that back in the 80s and 90s, they pretty much put out an album every year. Boom, 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 boom. Then we got the late 90s into now. It's like every 3 to 4 years. I understand why. Because, well, we got to give them time to write songs and stuff. And plus, they're getting older. They're still young, but they're getting older. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, will Depeche Mode have another album? It just depends on Dave and Martin. That's all there is to it. So, alright. Now I'm going to say bye. Bye. Peace. Why I'm saying peace.